Okay, team, welcome to another ZIPLOCK trail meal. We're calling this one Dragoon Popcorn. It really is a fun way to break out something most people aren't expecting on the trail. Popcorn's incredibly hard to make using the tin pots and aluminum, titanium that we have. So I'm going to show you how to get around that. What you need is 2 pieces of aluminum foil, 12 by 12 inches, about 2 tablespoons of oil. I use olive oil. And 4 teaspoons of popcorn kernels. Bag all that up individually. Put your oil in, then put your oil in your popcorn bag, and then put your oil, popcorn, and tinfoil in a third bag, and that'll give you a good seal so you don't get a mess in your pack. Starting off, you just want to take your foil out, take your popcorn out, take your oil out. Unfold your foil when you get it out of your bag. I like to double it up, or you can be really careful, or you can use heavyweight tinfoil. But if you double it up, that just keeps getting those little holes from tears from folding or as you're making your form. Take a cup or your fist, or in this case I'm using the case from the Sabo stove. And you're really just making a little form that's going to fit down into your cooking pot. What that's going to do is leave an air gap between the bottom of your pot and where your popcorn and oil sits, and that's going to keep it from burning. You see right here, I didn't quite make it big enough, so rather than trying to force it in there and poking a hole in it, just go ahead and pull it out and reshape it, reform it, and then you can put it down in there. Once it's down in there snug, go ahead and fold the top over the rim of your cooking pot. And you use your fingers to kind of smooth it out, make it bigger down in there. You can see I've got a nice, good, probably 2-cup cooking space in there with a nice 1-inch air gap between the bottom of my cooking pot and where my oil is going to go. You see here I poured about half of that in there. You're always going to get some oil that collects on the bag, so I like to use a little bit extra. From there, set that aside. See what that looks down at the bottom. You don't need a lot of oil, you'll get it too oily. Go ahead and fire your stove up. If you're not using a ferro rod to light your camp stoves with, I highly recommend it. It just takes all the guesswork out of matches and lighters and extra things to carry. And that's one shot, fires it right up. All right, take 1 popcorn kernel and drop that in there. Set it on your stove on high heat and then cover it up. You have to be patient now. It takes about 4 or 5 minutes to get the oil hot enough to pop your popcorn. But what you're doing, you need to listen, is wait for that 1 popcorn to pop. Once it does that, you know your oil is hot enough to pop the rest of your popcorn. So just be patient, listen for that little pop or ting if it goes off the top of your lid like mine did. And then from there, you can pour the rest of your popcorn into cooking pot, cover it up, set back, and be patient. You should start within 15 or 20 seconds. It'll start popping pretty rapidly. Sometimes that takes a minute, minute and a half, just depends on the popcorn you're using. But once it does start popping, let it go for about 15 seconds, and then pick it up and give it a little shake to make sure that all your kernels are covered with oil and are getting that nice heat. From there, it'll take about another 30, 45, 60 seconds to pop the remainder of your popcorn. And you can just sit there and let it go and enjoy it. But once the popping slows down to about 1 every 2.5, 3 seconds, you know that most of it's been popped, and then you can take it off your burner, set it aside. There's something really cool about just listening to popcorn pop on a campfire. And in no time, there you go. You've got about 2 cups of popcorn that you can eat and share. Go ahead and turn your burner off now, and you can set that aside. Our pot's going to be hot. And we had some rain this morning, so you can see how it caused a little steam there. I'm trying to make a trivet with my pot lid with not very good success. But it'll cool off pretty quickly. And then use your gloves or wait for it to cool off, and you can just lift that entire piece of foil out of there. I usually just eat it out of the foil, but if you're sharing, you can pour it into a cup or mug of your buddy. And this is where it gets fun. I don't like to carry butter around, obviously, hiking or packing, but get creative. I love this sriracha salt we just found the other day. It is awesome on popcorn in the field or at home, but use something like that, or use a leftover flavor pack from a ramen meal or something like that. You can really be creative and make your popcorn meal fun and tasty, and it'll usually catch people off guard. They will sit over there and say, "Well, what are you doing?" And then when you fire up some popcorn, it's really a big hit around the campfire or on the trail. And then just enjoy. Go back and look. We really don't think you need to spend, $10, $12 a meal on dehydrated food. That's great, and it's awesome when you can and want to use it. But there's a lot of other ways you can spice up and augment that. This costs about 50 cents total to make, and so we really try to find ways to make the outdoors accessible to everybody. Okay, well, follow along, share this with your friends, and we hope to see you down the trail soon.